I've been asked an awful lot whether you can colour Portland cement. I've got hold of some of these cement colours. So what I thought I'd have a do is... So what I thought I'd have a go at today is just casting them in some of my older silicone moulds. I'm going to use each one of the colours, and then I'm also going to perhaps do some mixes of colours as well. There is full instructions on here, and the health and safety. It's a low hazard product, which is great. I mean, I always wear gloves and safety glasses when I'm using something like this anyway. It tells you that you add as much as you think you need to add to the dry ingredients. Whoa, that is very black, look. I'm going to prepare my cement into some smaller pots rather than one big bucket, so that way I can use the colours and different things as I want to use them in each one of the moulds. Got my cement now into different pots, and this is the little one that I'm going to be using for the white. And I've got a larger pot for the red because I want to make the elephant red. Let's see. I mean, I have no idea. I've not used this before, so I've just put the powder in here, and I'm going to give it a mix round so it's all nicely blended in. And it's hard to tell how much red there is in there. I think that's more going to be pinky, so I might put a bit more in. I'm probably putting loads in. Now I'm going to add me water. Remember, I mix this up to about the consistency of a thick cream that's been whipped. And make sure it's all mixed in so you've got no dry powdery bits at all. And you've got no lumps. Now I'm quite messy with this, but you don't need to be quite as messy as me. Oh, I think that's a lush colour. As you can see, that's quite a nice thick consistency now. There's a little lump there, so that needs to come out. And now I'm going to pop that in my elephant. Now I'm going to half fill it first, because I want to make sure it's getting everywhere. So definitely some squidgy widgy there and some banging down to get rid of any trap bubbles that might be in there. And then I can fill this up right to the top. That one's done. Just bang it down a few more times to get rid of any of the trap bubbles. Hopefully there isn't too many. And then we can leave that now to set. And I've got some of this red left, so I can put some of that. Actually, I'm going to put some in my goldfish. Do patenty goldfish. I can put my white in it in a minute. I might put a bit of black and white into this one. There we go. So that'll do. And I'm also going to make some red flowers as well with this. And as you know, you've heard me speak about this before, Portland cement is very different to plaster of Paris. It's actually made of limestone and a few other ingredients, where plaster of Paris is made of gypsum. So this makes this a lot stronger than plaster of Paris. There's enough in there, and let's do a few of the pipes. That's that one done. I might do a longer pipe as well. So that's the red, and then I'm going to mix up a little bit of this white to put in with those goldfish. Let's put some in there. Don't want too much in there. A little bit. And now I've left some space in there for some black, which is the black I'm going to mix up next. Of course, you do know I'm going to see if I can use these powders in resin. And that I'm going to fill up the rest of these moulds with. And then with this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to smear just a little bit of this white all the way around in here, different places, like that. And then I'm going to fill this mould up with this black cement. Give it a good tap in. Give it a squidgy widgy. And then fill it up a little bit more. Oops, got a bit too much in there now. And then leave that one to cure. And this one I'm going to do just buff with. I want to know what colour the buff comes out. Do you know I'm going to make some black pipes as well. I quite like that buff colour. I've got no idea. Oh, look at that. I've got no idea what colour the buff colour one is, but I quite like it. This is why it's better to mix up in tubs that have got higher sides than this, because I do tend to flick it all over the place. Normally I mix it up in a small bucket, but I didn't want to today because I only wanted to mix up a small amount, but I wish I had now. I'm so messy. Even my members and that tell me I'm messy. Pour this in. Now this is always a difficult mould to pour into, so all I do is pull that back like that, pour down the side, get as much in there as I can without it getting right to the top, because I don't want it right to the top at this stage, because I need to be able to squidgy widgy, because if I don't squidgy widgy you will get trapped air in some of these bits, and you don't want that because it does kind of spoil the look. So once I've got it to there, and pull that back now, put all the rest of this cement in there. Right, and let's tidy that up. And you can normally demold these within about 25 minutes of doing them, but to be honest, I like to wait an hour at least before I start to demold them, to ensure that some of the other bits, the softer bits, are cured enough without breaking them off. Because once it's cured, or once it's hard, it is very, very hard. I also don't throw these pots away. I let it dry, then I crack it off the sides, then wipe them out and use them again. There we go. I'll leave these to cure up, and then I can show you what I'm going to do next. Well, these have all gone hard now. It's been about an hour and a half, and the good way to tell is to see if they're warm, because as they cure, an exothermic reaction happens and they get warm. Not hot, just warm. These are all fairly cold now. The first one I'm going to do, now they are still a little bit fragile at this stage, because you want to wait about 24 hours before you do anything else with them, paint them or anything. But you can trim them up at this stage if there's a little bit of overpour. So that one's alright. That's got no overpour on that one at all. This one has got some overpour, which is just there. So I'll just trim that out with a blade. It's just easier to get rid of it at this stage as opposed to wait until it's gone like a concrete. And I think they've come out really nicely. I quite like the two-tone colours, and the colours are actually quite vivid. And once I've put a finishing coat of whatever I'm going to use over the top of them, probably an exterior varnish, then they will also shine up if I use a gloss. But I am impressed with those colours. I definitely will be trying it in resin. Absolutely no doubt whatsoever about that. And these are the flowers and the pipes. Now these are definitely going to need some sort of trimming up, but the detail that's come out in them is exceptional. Look at the detail in that one. And the colours, I think, have come out really well. All this overpour will come off. You need to really do that and then give it a bit of a wash, and that will come out flakes off. You've got some old resin moulds that you don't use anymore because they've lost their shine or whatever. Don't throw them away. Look at that. That pipe has come out really well. So has that one. The larger ones, the one I'm most concerned about is this one. I think I've never been that happy with this mould anyway, because I always believed that the base wasn't deep enough, even when you used it with something like resin or anything like that. I love this colour. I have no idea what colour it is. I'd love to know. Oh, and that has come out lovely. Even though the base is in... Oh, it's so smooth. Look at that. And you can make quite a few of these, I think, and have them outside in different colours during the summer with candles in. I'm so pleased with that. If only this was feeler camera. It feels beautiful. Oh, I'm pleased with that one. Now, this mould has been on its way out for a long, long time. And this is the one where I put a little bit of white in there first to see what would happen. Now, what do you think of that? I'm absolutely in awe of that. I love it. I love the way the black or the grey has come out against that white that I flicked in there. With a bit of varnish on there, that's going to look really good. Also, if I put it on a plinth and actually have that in the house, I really do love that. What do you think of that? Let me know in the comments. The last one is the elephant, my big red elephant. Oh, I think I just broke his trunk by pushing it onto the thing. But we will soon find out. I did, I broke his trunk. I thought I had. I pushed it onto the card, onto the bit when I was doing it. Oh, poop. I could probably glue that back on, which is what I'm going to do. I should have been more careful. I'm just such a klutz. Right, I'm going to glue that on using a bit of wood glue. Now that again has come out lovely and smooth all the way around. But let's glue this nozzer back on. And I'll tidy it up and I'll show you again what they all look like. These are all nice and dry now, so I've got no problem putting a final coat on. Now there is kind of like a matte finish to the cement that has a slight sheen to it. But I want to seal these and I want to give them a little bit more of a sheen. So I'm using a satin finish interior varnish for this and a soft brush. Go over like this and just paint that on, and that will not only bring out the colours, but it'll also give it a little bit more of an extra sheen. And the reason I'm using a soft brush is to avoid getting too many brush strokes in it. I will leave links for everything that I've used in the description below, so don't worry if you want to get hold of something. Please boot that like button if you get the opportunity. It does help my videos to get out there. These are all finished now, they're all lovely and dry, and I did only give them one coat. It didn't need more than that. And look how beautiful that elephant has come out. I think he is absolutely gorgeous. Shame I broke the tip off his trunk, but there you go. That's what happens when you're as clumsy as I am. And the little candle holder, I think that's come out well. I'm not sure. I think that's yellow. I'm not 100% sure. It said buff, but I think it's yellow. Let me know in the comments what you think. And that's come out really well. And I'm going to be using that outside. I'm going to make a couple more, actually, so that I can use them outside in the garden. This is absolutely my favourite piece. I just love that. I think the marbling in there has come out really well. And I did the goldfish, but I only did 2 of the goldfish, so you could see the difference in what it does for giving them one coat of satin varnish. And it really does bring the colours out. So there's the one that hasn't been done. Let's put him in, or her, in the middle. So you really can see the difference. And I like it both ways, to be honest, but I do think I prefer them with the varnish on. Again, what do you think, with or without the varnish? And the pipes, I've done the same. So I've got some that are red and some that are the grey black. And again, I've done one where I didn't varnish it at all, and you can really see the difference. And the same with the flowers. So there's a varnished one, non-varnished, varnished, non-varnished. So I'm really pleased with this. I love the colours. I think they've come out great. I'm going to see if I can get hold of any more colours. I don't know if they make any more colours. I'm sure they probably do. Please boot that like button if you've enjoyed this video and found it to be useful. It really does help me to understand what people like and what people like to see more of. I will leave links to everything that I've used in the description below. Be sure to check out my video coming up next on how to make a freeform sculpture using Portland cement. It is such a great, fun and easy way to make a beautiful sculpture. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.